welcome back to Think About It, where you can daily, digitally come in and check in with me for a thought and an update, all from a biblical worldview, and all in under 3 minutes, or at least most of the time. And as we consider today, our timer starts right now. Now, as we go on daily life this Wednesday, we could probably chalk up most of what we're doing to one phrase: social distancing. Now, maybe you're being productive with some new tasks and staying involved with your friends, but I would imagine that you can identify with a lot of the memes that have been online for a while. You have a lack of energy from not doing very much during the day. You notice things that used to not really care to you much at all in the past. And whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, eventually all of us struggle with doing over and over what seems to be like, well, much of nothing. And there lies a great danger. You see, social distancing is certainly helpful to flatten the curve, but it's assumed that we're going to use our extra time productively in the process. Distancing will help us with the crisis now, but disengaging will create a new crisis in the future. But you see, for every Christian, Jesus reminds us of what should be occupying our time in our life, whether there's a pandemic or not. Consider John chapter 18. Jesus models this for us himself. The Jewish officials have arrested Jesus. They've disrespected him with their own corrupt trial, and now they're taking Jesus before the governor Pilate to ask permission to sentence him to death. And as they take him up there, Pilate wants to know what the charges are against him. And so later, Pilate in this chapter takes Jesus for some one-on-one questioning. And the main question at first centers on Jesus' identity. Pilate asks in verse 33, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And then later, Jesus responds with these words in verse 36 and 37. He says, "My kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom is not from here. I was born for this, and I've come into this world for this, to testify to the truth. And everyone who is of the truth will listen to my voice." And then as a response, Pilate answers back and snaps back with that infamous question. And he asks, "What is truth?" And then he walks away. See, the conversation between Jesus and Pilate demonstrates a number of things for us today. Number one, it shows us that Jesus' kingdom is not dependent, nor is it overruled by anything that happens here. Number two, though, the proof of being a citizen of Jesus' kingdom comes whether you respond to his truth and testify to it yourself. But sadly, number three, just like Pilate rejected the truth with a capital T, with Jesus right in front of his face, people do the same thing today. It seems to me that social distancing may be a requirement now, but kingdom distancing is actually always a choice, and it's up to you. Will you distance yourself today from the truth? Will you disengage yourself from your commission to engage with others? Distancing can easily lead to disengaging, and we can't blur the two together. But when it comes between your distance between you and Jesus, that distance is completely up to you. It's as far as you want it to be. Think about it.